Welcome to January of 2021, you guys. As you can see, the Wix editor is still being updated. So which means I can't update the website yet. Apologies for that. 2, hall lights out. 3, there's no quiet place anywhere to work. 4, I can't even get in my office right now. And of course, this would be a day when we have to do everything on the floor. So we're going to do the best we can with what we've got and hope that all the bad stuff in 2021 is happening right now. And this is as bad as it's going to get, because how nice would that be, y'all? Whew. Anyway, for OK January, we got 4 moves today in ReBuild. And we got clams with a band. Go ahead and take a minute and grab a loop. Make sure it's a much looser one than this. This is the only one I can find right now, and this is going to hurt like hell. There's no reason for this to hurt like hell. It's hard enough. You were fine without a loop, but it can't hurt to go get one either. Go get a nice loose one, not like this. Okay, so we got clams with a band, 30 seconds on each side. Then we got reverse clams with a band, 30 seconds on each side. Pulsed hip abduction with the band, and then single leg hip circles. We're going to move through all of this as expediently as possible and hope that it makes sense despite having no light and no good angles. So I'm going to go ahead and take this banner off because you're going to need all the screen you can get. Starting with the clams. The way I like to line up to do clams is against a wall, generally speaking, and here's why. We want our heels in line with our hips, in line with our shoulders, as much as we possibly can have them in that order. So I'll come a little bit closer to the camera, but you can use a wall to line up the way that I just did, or so a little bit more, that should help. You can use the wall to line yourself up, or you can line yourself up against the edge of the yoga mat. But what we want to do is pay attention to your hips. Don't dump. This is dumping. When your hips are aligned, stacked one on top of the other, there should be a little bit of space in between your side and the floor, regardless of size. Think about it when we're in neutral on our back. When we're relaxing, the small of our back is not pressed into the floor. In most positions on the ground, our side will be pressed into the floor. All we want is either a little bit of space or just that feeling where you're lifting your side off the ground rather than dumping into it, because it's a hip stacking question. See the difference? Okay, so stack your hips, which should leave a little space or at least a little less tension there. Straight up and down. 2, 3. Now it's easy to do this without using your glutes at all. As silly as that sounds, you could default to your thighs. We don't want that. Make sure that you stop, press, and be sure you're using your glutes throughout. Notice how I tuck my toes in between each other for stability. This is fine to do. I'm more concerned with whether or not your hips, shoulders, and feet are aligned, and if there's a little space right here. So 30 seconds here, 30 seconds on the other side. Then, this is the reverse. Whoops. And then your loop breaks because 2021 continues. That was at least 7 years old. So who cares? All right, moving on, proving you don't need the loop. This is the reverse clam. So instead of your feet down, your knees are going to touch. Lift and lower. It's very awkward. You'll feel this right in here. Doing that 30 seconds on each side. Or if that is too much, start here. So the 2 options, one, you can have the loop around your ankles and press that ankle up, or loop around the knees, lifting and lowering the knees. I'm more concerned with whether or not your hips are properly stacked and this right here than I am with what you do with your feet. So yay, there's that. Pulsed hip abductions with the band. Basically, those are kind of kickouts. Put this over here. Wish we had more light, but we don't. If you had a loop that didn't break, you're going to put it around your ankles. You want to put, instead of pressing against the wall, I like to, if I need a little bit more guidance, again, we don't want to be putting our weight into it. And when you put your palm anywhere, the tendency is to put weight there. You are never going to put weight on the top of your hand. It's not instinctual. Your wrists are too delicate for that. So if you feel like you need a little assist, that's an easy one to get. That will keep you balanced, but won't throw off any of what we need to get out of this move. With your knees locked, unlocked, locked, unlocked. Keep them unlocked. And make sure that on your standing leg, the leg that's not doing the work, that your knee is unlocked and your glutes are on. Little pulses outward. Going to do 30 seconds there, 30 seconds here. And then finally, last but not least, the standing hip circles. We want to try to keep our hips aligned. We don't want a whole lot of shifting or moving. This is what the hip circle is. As big a circle as you can get without moving or shifting directions. Think of it more as kind of a groin stretch as you go out, brushing the tip of your toes as you return. This should, after all that other, feel good. But remember, the glute on your standing leg needs to be on. Boy, that was messy. Here we go. That's more like it. And there you have it. Those are your 4 moves for Monday. You're coached, you're loved. Let's hope that Tuesday at least has some sunlight I can work with.